Lofree have finally released the sequel to one of the most adored keyboards of all time, and with a sequel that's as anticipated as this one, will the Flow 2 flow harder or just run a bit dry? Let's find out. In this video, I'll cover everything that's new compared to the original Flow. We'll do some typing tests, and also I'll summarize whether I think you should upgrade if you have the original or maybe any of Lofree's other keyboards. Do you know, Lofree's approach to new releases is absolutely fascinating to me. First of all, they brought out their original Flow keyboard in 2023, and in the world of low-profile mechanical keyboards, this thing was pretty much universally loved, which is incredibly rare to see amongst the very discerning mechanical keyboard market. I mean, one person commented on one of my videos to say that typing on this thing was a religious experience. And the main reason for that was because in a sea of clacky, rattly, budget, low profile options, the Flow offered this premium, super smooth, ultra creamy typing sound and feel. There were only a handful of things missing that would have made it perfect, so rather than just fixing those things and bringing out the Flow 2, Lofree designed and launched a completely new, ultra slim mechanical keyboard called the Edge. Slow down, man. No, not him. The Lofree Edge was still really good, but it wasn't the Flow sequel that everyone was waiting for, and it was made out of carbon fiber, which made it mega expensive and quite an acquired taste on the looks front. An interesting choice for what could have been a very easy follow-up. So then Lofree swung back the other way and brought out the Lofree Flow Lite, which did fix a lot of the original issues with the Flow, but was a more budget-friendly version with a cheaper build quality and a different set of lovely custom POM switches to pick from. In fact, it was so good, you probably wouldn't want to buy the original Lofree Flow anymore. Another very interesting choice. And that brings us to the premiere of the official premium sequel, the Lofree Flow 2, which is available on Kickstarter right now. All Lofree need to do is keep that original clean design, make sure it's as buttery smooth to type on as before, and then add those missing features that people now expect from a modern, premium, low-profile mechanical keyboard. Easy. Right? Now, as you can see, those Lofree designers just couldn't help themselves. They have reinvented the wheel yet again, and as we'll learn, in some ways that's ended up being a really great thing, but in other ways, it's all a bit confusing. Let me explain. And let's start by looking at those new features, and we'll definitely get to the design, but before we do, let's look at some of the other new stuff that's maybe dipped under the radar. Now, the original Lofree Flow came in two sizes, an 84 key version and a 100 key version, plus a choice of black or white keys that sit on this aluminium alloy frame. The sequel comes in those options too, but now we have a smaller 68 key version, and the black keys come with a slightly darker frame too. We also get a longer battery life this time, with the 2000 mAh battery in the original Flow now boosted to 3000 mAh in the Flow 2. That's if you're picking the 84 or the 100 key versions. If you get the little one, that stays at 2000. That's going to give you between 90 and 120 hours with the lights off, or between 50 and 80 hours with the lights switched on. That's up from 48 hours in the original, by the way. I think it's pretty nice having a capacity bump, but those numbers aren't that impressive compared to what Lofree's competitors are already offering, so we're going to need to be wowed somewhere else. Now, speaking of lights, one of the other complaints with the original was that whilst it did support simple white LED lighting, they were a little bit, well, pathetic. The keys weren't shine-throughs, so there was just this very dim, fuzzy glow, and the little RGB side lights around the keyboard were just a little bit on the useless side. But this time round, Lofree redesigned both the keycaps and the switches underneath, and you'll see this has now got a massive window at the top. That means that lights are going to get through in a much easier way. Now, Lofree have done this without compromising the quality of the keycaps, which are now a PBT and polycarbonate blend, and it really does look a lot better and brighter, if you like, having a light up keyboard. And next we have some ergonomic improvements. The original was held at a permanent angle thanks to these static feet, whereas the Flow 2 now has a kickstand that allows you to either lay it flat or prop it up at 7 degrees to go a little easier on those wrists. Now, I personally had no problem with the flat mode, but it's nice to have the choice, and these hinges and props are super premium, very different to most plasticky bases that you're going to see in this space. And onto connectivity, and another must-have for a modern mechanical keyboard is tri-mode connectivity. The original only supported Bluetooth and cable modes, whereas this time we do get a 2.4G dongle in the box, which is going to give you 1000 Hz polling if you stick it in wireless mode. I should add, this dongle is very small, and also there isn't anywhere to store it on or around the keyboard, so just watch out for that if, like me, you're prone to losing little things. And a big one to finish off, this is now compatible with the web-based customization software VIA, which means that you can do all sorts of fun stuff with key mapping and macros. In my case, as a Mac user, I really wanted to map some of these function keys to work as multimedia without having to press function at the same time. And yeah, now that all works just fine. We'll talk a bit more about this when we look at the typing experience, but Lofree have brought out 3 brand new switches for this new model, and they've all got added stability compared to the original. They're still made of full POM materials, but all of them are designed to be lighter to use all round. One of the only complaints people had with the original Flow's Phantom, Ghost and Wizard switches was that they were just a touch too heavy, and these new switches aim to fix that. This time we get Surfer, which is the main linear option, there's Pulse, which is a tactile switch, and then Void, which is a linear but silent switch. And spoiler alert, I really like this one. I reckon this one's going to be very popular. And if you don't like any of these new switches, they're all hot swappable, so you can always use your favorites from any of the other boards that Lofree have released. Now, I'm going to give you a full typing comparison soon, but let's talk about the elephant in the room first. Sometimes people talk about keyboards and monitors like faces, where they're described as having a forehead or a big chin. I don't really know what the name for this part would be. Maybe you could let me know in the comments, but I'm probably going to go with cheek. Slightly kind of puffed out one side of it. It's a really bold design choice, which does house some new elements too, but I know it's already polarized people from the initial comments and reviews that I've read. I would say that this is quite a brutal look compared to the clean lines of the original, but it's definitely recognizable in a sea of very similar looking low profile keyboards. This cheek houses a few other changes. Firstly, there's the status light, which has moved from its original spot on the Flow facing the user to up here. This will show you battery status and charging. And that's about it. I think with everything else Lofree have done on improving the lighting, given how prominent this is, it would have been nice to be able to customize this a bit more, maybe even to show caps lock or even like an RGB strobing perhaps. And the main thing living in the cheek here is a new touch bar, which can be used to control volume, or if you hold down the function key, you can control brightness on any connected device. So to me, this was one of those kind of Lofree edge things again. It's kind of a cool idea, but I'm sure no one really asked for it. I'd much rather have had a more uniform, cheekless design with smaller bezels, but then I am a man of simple tastes. If it was going to be fully functional, it would be nice to be able to program this touch bar to use in different software applications, like maybe zooming in on documents and websites or videos and photos perhaps. I can imagine a lot of people would find that useful as an extra feature. In my testing, I actually ended up activating this quite a bit just by accident due to the placement of the touch bar, either by lifting up my keyboard by the sides, like most people do, or by bumping into it with my mouse hand. Now, Lofree did tell me that the final version will include a lock function so that you can disable the touch bar if you need to. But then it's just dead space, right? Another thing, the charging port is also over here on the side. Now, Lofree say this is to help the line stay clean when it's sat on your desk, but for me, I'd just much rather have it on the back so it doesn't hang off the edge here, especially the edge where my hand often is when I'm using my mouse. If I'm connected via the cable, this actually eats further into the main space that I use on my desk. One final little quirk on the design front, Lofree are so obsessive about having clean, uninterrupted looks that they've made sure that there are no switches or buttons around the case at all. It's completely clean in this anodized aluminium. If you want to switch from wired to wireless modes, you're going to need to flip up the kickstand over here to access these buttons. Again, I'm pretty unrefined. I wear shorts most days, but I would rather just have the practicality of having these buttons round on the back so that I can get to them quickly when I need to. Okay, folks, let's move on to a typing test. Now, the review units that Lofree sent out have basically got all the combinations of sizes and colors and switches so that I can show you. One of the main things that people loved about the original was the sound and typing feel. So let's see if they managed to keep it the same or maybe even improve on it. So hopefully you heard the difference there. The sound of all of these is a little bit different from the original, which maybe should be expected. After all, the switches, keycaps and internals have all been changed this time around on the Flow 2, which now has 5 layers of sound dampening along with a new gasket mounted design. Now Lofree did come out and say that they wanted to make these lighter all round, and I would agree they've definitely done that with all 3 of these new switches. The new linear switch Surfer is super snappy and light and keeps that lovely smooth Lofree feel to it. Now, I'm not normally a fan of tactile switches, but I also really enjoyed using the pulse switch, mainly due to that lightness, even if it was just a bit too loud and poppy for my preferences. But my favorite by a long way was the new Void silent linear switch on the little 68 key model. This was just a dream to type on, and for me was probably the closest one in feel to the original Flow out of all of the 3. It's muted, clean, super stable, and honestly, this was a bit of a revelation to me, and as someone who mainly goes for linear options, this might have made me into a silent switch convert. Let's finish off with pricing, and this is a tricky one because at the time of making this review, Lofree haven't actually finalized their retail pricing on the Flow 2. However, it is currently on Kickstarter where you can back this at around $90 for the 68 key version, $99 for the 84 key version, and about $119 for the 100 key option. My top pick would probably be the full 100 key option in white with those delicious silent switches. That's definitely a bit of a killer combo. You can also add on some extras like a switch puller set. Yet you do not get one in the box, wrist rests, sleeves, desk mats, or extra switch sets if you can't make up your mind between any of these options. If the original Flow is anything to go by, you can probably expect these to be about double the cost when the Kickstarter ends and the product is available to buy directly on their website. So I definitely consider snapping them up while the campaign is live if you're feeling curious. Oh, by the way, if this video helped you out in any way, please consider using my link in the description, which gets me a little kickback to buy me a coffee and help me continue making these videos. At the start of this video, I did say that I would make a recommendation on whether you should upgrade to this if you have the original Flow. Well, 2 years is a long time in the world of low profile keyboards, and while the original still holds up as a gold standard for typing experiences, I'd say the sequel has all of the upgrades that you would expect and still retains that unique Lofree feel. Plus, if anything, if you can get on board with the new look, this new one looks and feels even more premium, and I reckon would be an awesome addition to level up any desk setup. Now, folks, if you've got any questions about the Flow 2 that I can help with, just let me know down in the comments. And if you're still in the market for a low profile keyboard, you're going to probably enjoy checking out this one over here. See you next time.